I've lived in 2 countries, 5 states, and 8 houses. My name is Victoria Mejia. I'm a military spouse and a military child. I hope to tell you a little bit about where I'm from, a little about my family, and how I got to where I am today. When someone asks me where I'm from, I usually have to stop and think about it. And I usually wind up saying that I'm from the military. Most people don't know what I mean when I say that, but some people do. So, I'll explain to you what I mean. What I mean is, the longest I've lived in one place is 6 years, and I'm lucky. But I'll tell you where I've lived. And this is in order. I've lived in Hawaii, Missouri, South Carolina, Japan, North Carolina, Virginia, and back to Japan. In some of these states, I've lived in 2 houses, like South Carolina and North Carolina. Those 2 houses were just because of a different duty station a few miles up the road from the other. Now Japan is a whole different story, which I'll tell you about here in a minute. So because I've lived in all these different places, I can't really say that I'm from one place, so I like to say that I'm from the military. The best part is that I don't have to do all these moves alone. I'm from a family of 5. There's my mom, Luisa, who is from Columbian and was raised in Florida. My dad, Scott, who is from Missouri, and he's American. Both my parents met in Hawaii, and they were both active duty at the time. My mom got out after having my little sister, but my dad is still active duty. I have 2 sisters. My older sister's name is Andrea, and she lives in North Carolina and is pursuing her career in sports advertising. My little sister's name is Kimberly, and she is in her senior year of high school. She lives in Virginia with my parents. I love my family of 5, but in 2014, my family grew by 2. In 2014, my life changed, I changed, and I started my path to where I am today. In 2014, I was a senior at Lejeune High School in Jacksonville, North Carolina. That's where I met Juan Mejia, who is now my husband. He was also a senior at Lejeune High School. Our senior year, we got pregnant, and that's when Juan started his process to join the United States Army. A week after graduating, we had our son Devin. And a few weeks after that, Juan proposed to me, and I said yes. And then, shortly after that, my dad got orders once again to move. So we all moved up to Virginia, and Juan got to stay for about a month. But then sadly, he had to go back to North Carolina to ship off to basic training. Devin was only 3 months at the time. But 3 months later, Juan got to come home because it was Christmas, and they let him out of boot camp for Christmas. No one else wanted to stay there. So at Christmas, we got married, but then he had to leave to go back to basic training and to finish his schooling. So after a long 7 months of him being gone to basic training in AIT, he finally got to come home, and that's when we started our lives together. We headed off to Okinawa, Japan, where we live now. I'm now a stay-at-home mom. I am also in school, and I am an FRG leader for my husband's battery. I love the life I live today, and I would not change it for anything. I hope that you've gotten to know a little bit about me, and also I hope that if someone ever tells you that they're from the military, that you understand what they mean by that. Thank you.